Hey, welcome back, and my video today is going to be about a certain Super Nintendo, Super Famicom device that has really enabled me this year to really delve and indulge and save money and really enjoy the console 100 times over than I normally would. This device is something that's very affordable and can really save you money, and especially if you're someone who likes to play a lot of games but you have a bit of a budget. Of course I'm talking about this device. This is the Super Everdrive, and this is a device that enables you to run, play and enjoy Super Famicom, Super Nintendo games by flashing them onto a specially made cartridge that is read through a memory card. Now, I decided to purchase one of these at the start of this year because I knew I wanted to play and look at a lot of Super Nintendo games this year. I really enjoyed playing it last summer, and I really wanted a lot more games for it. I did actually want a certain number, a certain section, bunch of games, and I did manage to pick them up. And I always had the thought that once I had those games, I wasn't going to go for the expensive games. The Super Nintendo library is quite vast and can be very expensive. So what I thought to do was get the bunch of games I actually wanted as physical carts, and I'll put the rest on Super Everdrive. And it's the best decision I've ever made. And I'll give you an example. I mean, this cartridge here, this cost me about £80. £80, and I've got on here pretty much every RPG I can imagine, every other Super Nintendo game I want to play, and I can sit here and I've got literally a little shoebox full of Super Nintendo games and this, and I'm not limited to what game I can play on my Super Nintendo. The price of this and the amount of games I've got on it just doesn't compare. I've got over, I mean, if you were to buy the games that I have on this cartridge online or through whatever means, then it will cost you in excess of £2,000 to £3,000. This has saved me so much money that I would probably have spent on eBay in buying Super Nintendo games. And another example I'll give you, I mean, 5 Super Nintendo games that will cost in excess 3 times the amount of the Super Everdrive cost me. Super Metroid, Secret of Mana, Earthbound, this game, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and what else? What's another super expensive? Any other Super Nintendo RPG, effectively. Those 5 games alone will cost you over £200, easy. I've got them all on here basically, and this cost me less than £100. So it's if you're the kind of person who wants to save money and you like to play a lot of games, you may be a collector, but this has really curbed my kind of eBay sickness. I'll call it a sickness basically, because between YouTube and eBay, I used to get impulse quite a lot. I'll put that up there. I used to get impulse quite a lot with watching pickup videos and buying games pretty much based on what other people would do. And this device has really kind of actually saved me, I must be honest, because when I see someone playing a Super Nintendo game and I think, oh my god, I really want that, I really want to play it, I can, and it helps me to, I can continue to collect for the Super Nintendo, and I can really use this device to say, okay, I'm going to try that game out, I'm going to play that game, And if it's a game I 100% actually want as physical form cartridge, I've played it, I know that it's a sound investment, it's a good game. I'm not going to go out and buy a crappy game and put it in my collection, and then, you know, that's going to build up, and I've got no space to collect hundreds of Super Nintendo games. But if it's a game that I really want to have on physical cartridge, this will help me to find that game and play it and decide if it's one purchase that's worth making or not. A game I'm playing currently on air as well, Demon's Blazon, which is Demon's Crest. That's a game that's super expensive, even just to get a cart only of it. And I've got that on here. I've got the Japanese version, I've got the American version. I can play and enjoy the game. And if it's a game I've figured out down the line I want an actual physical copy of because it's worth buying, then that's my choice to make. But I'm not limited to play to not be able to play that game, and it's all because of the Super Everdrive there. So I'm not really trying to make this as a promotional video for the device and to say, you know, go out and buy one. But for what it's done for me, it's stopped me looking on eBay a hell of a lot for Super. I mean, I've deleted all my Super Nintendo listings pretty much on my eBay watch list, because I can play them when I want, and I'm not checking daily, and it's actually such a burden off my shoulders, I must be honest. Okay, so that's all that aside. Let's talk about the physical aspects of the actual cartridge itself. Basically, what you get and how it works is you have the cartridge, which has the circuit board inside, and that's where the magic happens. But the way it runs off one of these SD cards. You fill this SD card effectively up with all the games you want. You slot it in the top of the cartridge, the custom cartridge, and you put it in your Super Nintendo and you fire it up, and it's as easy as that. I'll stick it on now, and I'll give you a quick run through of all the games and, you know, the stuff I have on it. And what this really is good for, and what I've done is actually gone and found a lot of you know, those RPGs that are all in Japanese that you couldn't get over here, and Japanese only releases. I've actually got, you know, ROM translations on here, so I can play, you know, the English version of Star Ocean, for example. All those Japanese RPGs that never got translated, you can play translations, and I've got them all on here. So, you know, I'm happy as Larry, and I don't have to pay stupid prices to get like a reproduction cart of them, because, you know, I've got the ROMs, I've stuck them on here, and I can play them. I'm going to flip the camera a bit closer to the screen, and you can check out how this works, and I'll give you a little quick demo. Okay, so I've just positioned myself behind the camera. You can just about see me there. I'm just going to switch on the Famicom now, well, Super NES, and it should boost straight into the menu. Let's get the controller here. Right, so this is the first thing that comes up when you've loaded all your ROMs on the screen. I'll just change the orientation there. There we go. So basically, these are all my games here, A to Z. These are all the games I wanted to have on the cartridge. I don't have hundreds of them. I just wanted a good select through, a good choice few. This folder up here, I've created a folder called Japanese. You can create some folders on the memory card. You can, you know, create your own folder structure effectively. These yellow ones, these are folders. This SPED folder is just basically where the operating system and the save files stay. Let me sort out my zoom. Hold on a sec. Okay, and the top folder is where my Japanese games are. So these are all the Japanese games I have downloaded and put on my ROM, my memory card, and I've even created a folder called Translation. So these are all the ROM Japanese translations. There's some RPGs of games that are basically in English, so you can play them in English. Let's load up an example here actually that might De Langrisa, Bahamut Lagoon. So this is a Japanese only game, but this has got a translation on here. So we'll load that up. What the flashcard is doing now effectively is erasing the previous game that was on there, and it will start to flash and load the ROM file that's on the SD card onto the circuit board. So it's just erasing it, and now it's writing it to the circuit board, and so the cartridge effectively becomes the game that is written to it now. So you can reset this console and press start, and it will boot straight into that game every time until you write a new game to it using this menu. So it's loading up now. Here it comes. Let's put on some sound. Oh, a bit too much there. So this is the Japanese only release game, but this is a translated ROM. So you can play them. You can put them on your card, and you can enjoy it in English. So this is another bonus. You don't need to buy and pay out for reproduction cartridges. And all this just cost me around about £80. Here we go. Look, it's all in English. It's amazing. There we go. So I'll just reset the console there now, and it loads straight back into the main menu. But if I press start button now on my Super Nintendo controller, it'll effectively just load back into Bahamut Lagoon. And unless I choose a different game here now, let's choose a different game to load in. Let's go with a game that's probably not that big. Pocky and Rocky 2, I suppose. So you can load and start the game. So it will start now to erase the previous game. And it will start to write Pocky and Rocky 2 to the circuit board, the ROM chip on the actual circuit board. So here we go. So yeah, this is the benefits of the Super Everdrive. And obviously you can get Super Everdrives for other consoles as well, and it works exactly the same. Okay, and there it is. And there I am playing it. Do you need a demo? No. So yeah, that's pretty much how it works. Okay, yeah, and that's pretty much it. That's my thoughts on the Super Everdrive, a device that really enables you to enjoy the full library of whatever console you decide to do. And like I say, there are versions on the Nintendo 64. There's a Sega Genesis version, a Mega Drive version, Game Gear. They've just released the Game Boy Everdrive. You can get them for pretty much all the decent retro consoles now. So it's definitely worth. It's a good investment in my opinion, because it's one of those things that does save you money if you're a person who especially is more inclined to buy a lot of games. Do this first. I'd say use this to curb your spending and save money, and use it to make an informed decision of what actual games you want to have, cartridge or physical copy. That's what I've done. So that's just my opinion. You can do what you want effectively, but I just thought I'd show you. If you haven't seen or know what the Super Everdrive is about, that's what it is for me. Pretty much, it was a bit of a lifesaver, and I'm very thankful that I can spend my money on other things instead of I've wasted it on stuff I don't need. So that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you sometime soon, I guess. Bye for now.